What's going on, guys? This is the Wisdom Matrix, and this video is about is the ego structure, unveiling the ego structure, and this is kind of going to be like the video I made, the most important thing you ever hear, but I'm going to simplify it even further because I became more aware of what it is, and I have better ways of explaining it, and explaining what it actually is, what this thought essence or content essence or whatever you want to call it actually is. So what is the ego? What does the ego believe that it is? Well, it believes that it is the content essences of a lot of your thoughts. It has like a collective thought essence thing. That's the best way I can explain it. And it believes that it is this, but this is just a concept. That's what the ego believes it is in actuality. It believes it's this thing, that this thing is real, but it's just a concept. I know this sounds very. It sounds like this could be the most scariest thing that your ego might hear. It might revolt against me. It might get emotional or whatever. But it's what the ego is. It's what the ego seems to believe it is. It's this collective thought essences of all, like the all of the major things that it believes that it is. It's like this collective thought essences. It's like this collective thought essence of all these things. And in actuality, that's just a concept. It's just what I'm going to call a super concept or a mega concept. And the job, if you take it up, is to go beyond this concept. If people, if people hear it rightly, this is what's called enlightenment, or becoming a master, or whatever you want to call it. This is what I believe. This is what a lot of masters and people of spiritual means have done. They've gone beyond this intellectual concept that the ego believes it is. Basically, if you look into it, you'll just see that the ego is circular logic. And sure, there's like experiences in there, but most of it seems to be just like thoughts that it believes that it is in essence. And it creates this you that you think you are, this personality, or whatever you think you are. So what you can do is you can try and put your awareness on this thought, this mega thought essence, or this super concept, and it's a weird thing. It's like a hard thing to explain what it is. But it's a very strange experience to actually become aware of this thing. I'm not exactly sure what you can call it. Because it's not like anything you probably ever felt. I mean, you probably have like felt you like the idea of you as like a body, or as just you in the mind or whatever. But that's what you are. The idea of you is what keeps the ego together in a way. It's what keeps your identifications and your attachments together, is this super mega concept. And this concept is what drives the ego. The concept is literally all the ego knows that it is, in a way. I mean, it knows. The only person who knows beyond that is you. You're not the ego. The ego is something that you've adopted as you. You are beyond the ego. And if you become aware enough, you can actually, sense this ego thought essence concept structure. I may do more videos in the future if I become more and more aware of this thing and what it is and how I can explain it easier and better. But the reason why this is important to understand is because this ego is what it identifies itself as, and it identifies itself as this concept, and this concept is the ego. So it's like circular logic. It keeps feeding upon itself. That's why the identification of the ego will never end until you become aware of it. Until you become more and more aware. And that's why awareness is so important, because if you don't become aware, that identification of the ego, which creates attachments, creates suffering and pain and, anger and all this other stuff. If you don't become aware of this fact that I'm mentioning here, the super mega concept that is called the ego, if you don't become aware of this truth that I'm mentioning, you will keep feeding into this identification, because what the ego seems to do is it identifies itself as this thought essence, the collective essence of all the main thoughts that it thinks it is. It thinks that it is, negative, positive, good, bad, bright, not too bright, or fast, or athletic, or whatever it thinks it is. It's an amalgam of all these things, and it's beyond the content. It's the thought essence. That's what it believes it is, and it makes an identity of this thing, of this concept, of the thought essence, of the content, of the thought content, of the content essence, or the thought essence. That's what it believes it is. And in general, that's the easiest way so far that I can explain this. And if you hear this, you may get angry, you may get mad, you may get sad, you may, I don't know what you're gonna do, but it may not be a pleasant experience to see this once you see it. Well, once you see it, it's different, but if you hear it like this, and if you're not aware enough, or if you are like attached to this concept of you as the ego, you will get angry, you will get mad, or sad or something. You get emotional. But just become aware of those emotions. Become aware. Try and find this thought essence that I'm talking about. And you may not be able to find it for a while, so just keep practicing the awareness exercises that I've given before, like how to tap into the infinite. Just become aware of awareness. Watch awareness. Become aware of the thoughts of the ego. Become aware of anything, or just meditate. Practice meditation. You can do all kinds of different things as a meditation. Walking meditation, sitting meditation. You can smell things. All kinds of stuff. This starts to break the identification between you and the ego. This is the goal of you. This is the goal of you, is to wake up. This is what a waking up does. So anyways, if you do get angry, you can don't force this stuff or anything. Just become aware of it, notice it, and notice too that anytime there's a strong emotion about something, it's usually because there's an attachment, or there's some kind of truth there that the ego doesn't really want to see. So anyways, this is the Wisdom Matrix, and if you like this video, please let me know why. If you actually did like it, if you get angry or whatever, you can let me know why, or let me know, or whatever, so we can work on it together, because this is important. So, and subscribe and share this video with others if you got some kind of benefit from it, so they can get the same benefit as you did. This is the Wisdom Matrix, and I'll see you on the next video.